everybody. This is Jeff Veale, the business guru, coming to you from downtown Manila in the Philippines. It's in the afternoon here. I've got an awesome guest on my show today, a fellow Aussie all the way from Sydney, Australia, Rosie O'Connor. What a beautiful name. What a lovely name. I think I want to go to Ireland. National Head of Training and Development. The company name, I won't pronounce it right, but we'll do our best. Tell me, Rosie, what is it?
Allara Learning.
Yeah, Allara, yeah. All right. Well, I was going to say Allara. Allara Learning, vocational education and leadership development. She's been in the industry for a long time, guys, 5 years plus. Brief description. She works for Allara Learning. We provide tailored training and nationally recognised qualifications across Australia. Right. A big part of what we involve supports fantastic community programs like OzHarvest, Nourishment program, and the Cowboys Dream, Believe, Achieve program. But I asked you about that one. I don't know that one. Our main specialties are hospitality, hospitality and culinary training, businesses, and leadership skills and mental fitness. That mental fitness part's very important, guys. Key achievements and projects. Induction program for Discovery Pass in the East Kimberleys for 100 staff members. Developed a full leadership development program for Hamilton Island Resorts. Wow, awesome. Completed an executive women in leadership retreat in Bali this month. That would have been a lot of fun. Implemented a leadership program, implemented the performance management program at Campbelltown Catholic Club. I know that one very well. That's a very famous place, that place. Currently designing leadership programs for supervisors and operation managers for SCAPE. About to deliver a 4 weeks training conference for minor hotels in Barcelona. Wow, awesome. About to complete a second job ready program for Solitel and Mob Ready for young Indigenous professionals entering or re-entering the workforce. There was a lot here. Personal motto, I like it. Your actions should match your ambition, right? Interesting thing. I don't know how you would come up with this one, Rosie. I can say the alphabet backwards, and I have a black German Shepherd named Goose. Now, how did you come to learn the alphabet backwards? Did you set out intentionally to do that, or it just came naturally?
It's something that my mother taught my sister and I from a very young age. It's my mother's party trick, so she obviously passed that down to us, and yeah, I've been able to do it since before I can remember.
Yeah, I got a friend of mine. He can remember phone numbers from 20 years ago. I can't remember my own. Honest to God, I don't even know my own. I can look it up all the time because I'm lazy. But
Doesn't need to do anymore.
he can remember a phone number like from 20 years ago. He can tell me my old phone numbers. Anyway, it's my great pleasure to welcome to the stage Rosie O'Connor. How are you, Rosie?
Thank you. I am great. I'm staying warm and dry. It's very rainy in Sydney at the moment. So I've got heater on, socks on, staying inside for the foreseeable future.
You've had a shitload of rain. You've had a shitload of rain, am I right? It's been raining.
Up and down the coast, Queensland through to South New South Wales, it is torrential.
Football commentator, I was on the radio this morning. A football commentator I follow, Gus Gould, he was saying he went up to Newcastle. It rained all the way up and it rained all the way back.
I was there yesterday, did the 6-hour round trip. It was very dicey driving home.
Yeah. So we Australians would say it was pissing down. Right?
I would say that, yes.
I would. I'll say it for you. Tell us about your journey, Rosie. What inspired you to pursue your current career path? Where did it all begin?
Began 5 years ago in COVID. This is my second career. I came from about 15 years in hospitality, mostly in management in the later stages of that career. I've always worked with people. I've been very much part of developing teams. I'm a very service-orientated person. And I had the pleasure of working with someone who I consider a mentor of mine who is in the professional coaching business now. We worked together for Veale some years ago, and she and I did some facilitating for training development for in-house induction and ongoing development for Veale. And during COVID, which I refer to as the dark years, where a lot of people were doing some self-reflection, I was getting, itchy feet. I was ready to move into something else. I wanted to change my working hours, and I wanted to move into a more education-based role. Considering my love for learning, I have a high curiosity culture for myself, and I really enjoyed the training aspect of that previous role. So I went ahead and did my Certificate 4 in Training Assessment, which is a requisite for my role. But I also got in contact with a training organisation where I had done previous education myself. And I got some strong encouragement from my mentor, and she put me in touch with the right person, and I interviewed and got the role. And I became a workplace trainer, mostly starting with hospitality, and now I'm more focused with leadership and business skills.
Tell me this, I didn't realise until I read your bio, you're in hospitality. This is going back a long way. Maybe, I'm trying to think how old you are. You're 33. You might have heard it. Had you ever heard of All Suburbs Catering?
Yes, I have.
I was the owner of All Suburbs Catering.
There you go.
Back in the day, just before COVID, when I got wiped out, I was one of the biggest caterers in Australia. I was a good marketing guy. I had 120 websites, and what you didn't realise as the public, I owned Liverpool Catering, Campbelltown Catering, Parramatta Catering, Chatswood Catering, all the regional districts. I owned all those. So you thought you were dealing with a local caterer. You were in fact dealing with one company working out of Wetherill Park.
Well, not definitely. You were local in some degree. You weren't, out of state.
Then I went on with that model. I went on to do Mr. Finger Food, and then wedding catering, barbecue catering, spit roast catering, Melbourne Cup catering, Christmas catering. I did all the niches. So I had it sewn up. But no one realised it. I had the game sewn up behind the scenes, and everyone just thought, "Oh, I'm just a little suburban caterer."
120, that's impressive.
Yeah, so my skill set's marketing. What's been the most challenging aspect of your work over the years, and how have you overcome that?
Well, I had a good think about this question. My ongoing challenge is really disguised as a bit of a reward, but my ongoing challenge is constantly adapting my teaching or facilitating approach. I have worked with in this current career, over 1,000 different students and people in multiple qualifications, multiple programs, whether I've designed them, facilitated them, or been part of the assessor side. And every single class, every single student I teach is completely different. So I can do as much research and study as I like, but there's always something that catches me off guard, or something that I need to adapt. It might be a communication style. It might be upping my patience. It might be a bit more planning, changing my understanding of local legislation or industry standards. So there's just always something to learn, and there's always something to improve on, which keeps me completely motivated and interested. But it's a great feeling, and a lot of facilitators will agree with this, is seeing that aha moment come from a student, because it's clicked and the way that you've taught something has worked.
What I find interesting, if I met you at the local Campbelltown Leagues Club, something, whatever it's called, I wouldn't know any of that. I just walk up and say, "Here's this lovely girl," and start chatting to you. I just know all that bloody knowledge that you've got. It's bloody amazing,
It's working.
Obviously throwing yourself into your work, and it's all come about with hard work. You just don't wave a magic wand, right?
No, not at all.
Right. Tell us an important moment in your career that changed your direction. Where was that aha moment? I've got to follow this dream of mine.
Well, it probably is the moment I mentioned a little bit earlier, looking at pivoting my career. I think that was a really difficult moment for me, because not only what was happening with the world, but because I had come from an industry where I was so completely comfortable. I was good at it. I'd thrown myself into it for a long time and established some really great connections and really proven myself and put some great runs on the board. And for me, as quite a risk-adverse person, to then pivot careers, jump into the unknown, start at the bottom, that was a huge leap of faith for me. And I was grateful to have the support of my mentor at the time and have the opportunity to start from the bottom and move my way up. And I don't look back at all. It was definitely something I thought I might regret, but I don't look back at all. I'm very proud of what I've been able to achieve in the last 5 years.
Yeah. In your opinion, what are the key qualities and skills that have contributed to your success?
For me, I am quite competitive with myself. So I am constantly looking at ways to improve on what I did yesterday and a year ago. But the key thing for me is that you have to have a natural interest in learning and being curious. And we all know someone who is closed-minded or has their opinions, that's fine. But in this industry, you have to be ready to be proven wrong. You have to be ready for things to change. And that could be, a learning difficulty that you need to overcome with a student. It could be the change in legislation. We've seen a lot happen now with employment law and even, RSA law. All of that changes frequently. You've got to be up to date with that. So you have to be ready to.
It gets so unnecessarily complicated, doesn't it? Sometimes.
Oh, but that's the challenge, Jeff. That's what keeps you on your toes. So you've got to be curious. You have to naturally learn yourself. I do a lot of learning outside of work as well. Yes. But my key thing for me is being completely organised. If you have a look at my calendar, you might be a bit shocked about how much is on there and the colour codes that are on there. But that's what keeps me being able to tick the boxes, being able to meet, the clients and the students that I need to be able to meet and manage the projects that I'm on. So that high level of organisation definitely helps.
Tell me, what's your secret? How do you stay motivated and continue to innovate in your field? What's your secret there?
Well, as I said, because I've been an education space and a learning space, I too need to be ahead of the game. So what drives me are our competition, but also past Rosie. But the tools and the techniques that I use to stay motivated, I'm a huge podcast mostly audiobook, I'd say. So huge audiobook fan. I am a huge fan of completing short courses online for very specific skills. So every day, and when I'm in the car, which I drive quite a bit for work, so every day I'm in the car, I'm listening to an audiobook from Stephen Bartlett, Vanessa Van Edwards, Brené Brown, Simon Sinek. These are all huge idols of mine. In my downtime, I also watch TED Talks. I love to watch other facilitators. I love a diversity of thought, conversation, and I love to watch other people pursue their passions as well. It definitely motivates me to do better in my role.
The game's changed. The University of Life. I tell people with YouTube and AI these days, there is no excuse.
Absolutely, you should be learning. If
you want to learn, it's like the old encyclopedia without having to worry. I don't have to open the book anymore. I remember we bought that for our kids for about $6,000 back in the day when we were getting about $100 a week. Tell us about it. Not so much. Tell us about a recent project or an achievement you're particularly proud of.
At the moment, I'm about to fly over to Barcelona in a few weeks' time to deliver a training program that I'm particularly proud of. Over the last few months, I've been working with one of my colleagues over in France. He's based in Marseille. And together we've been working on a project for a global luxury hotel brand for their quality development managers. I'll be delivering or co-facilitating this with my colleague over the course of a week over in Barcelona. And we've put a lot of time and effort into this. We have looked at so much data. We've gone back and forth with the hotel managers and their L&D teams. And there's been so many intricacies. So I'm so excited to be able to execute this program, meet the students, and really see how they develop over the next 6 months of this program. So that's very exciting. And as I mentioned earlier, this is my first overseas trip for business. So I feel that I'm entering the big leagues. So that's what I'm very excited about.
I'm just thinking, the world's such a small place, isn't it now?
I know.
It's like to say, it's like going to Melbourne, except you just
Got
go
the bus.
a bit
Yeah.
more. You know, amazing. Tell me, what advice would you give a 20-year-old version of you?
In general, for life or for their career? For life, definitely travel and
100%. It changes your life, doesn't it? It's life.
go. Absolutely. You need to go to places where the people don't look like you and they don't speak your language. And
I
you
like
are,
that.
you know, put
Hopefully
in
they don't like you either. Like,
yeah, they don't act like you.
I was
Yes.
thinking about Bali earlier. Guys,
Well, if you go to Bali, you're just going to see Australians. You don't go to Bali to see the Balinese. You go there to see Australians. But looking back at myself at 20, I was overseas. I feel that the amount of travel that I have done over, the last decade or so has really developed my thick skin. I've got high resilience, but in terms of lifelong skills that are outside of that, the way that we interact with other people is so important, whether it's in the boardroom or on the beach. If you are able to connect with people from all walks of life, if you're able to control yourself in a heightened situation, if you're able to make other people feel good or teach something, then you're going to be able to do that through travel. And the other thing is learning. That for me is, if you don't care about the world and don't care about being better, then you're a bit of a space.
You survive, you thrive. And you'll love this. One of my guests the other day, a lady on the show, said to me, "You ready? Be a better human." And I nearly fell out of my chair. I thought, how good is that? If we can get the world, everyone to be a better human, wouldn't it be fantastic?
Even just 1%, just 1% better. If everyone was 1%.
And I thought, I'm serious. I thought, because I'm an entrepreneur, I thought, how can I start a movement about this? Like, for example, you be a better human, and then we go overseas to Africa and drill some water wells for the people, or fix up an orphanage, or whatever, as part of the projects. So I've got that in the back of my mind now as to what I may or may not be able to do with it. That was I thought it was pretty cool.
I love that.
Yeah. Another one you'll love. I love these podcasts. I mean, it's a bit like traveling. I meet so many nice people. And the other one, a lady came on the other day. She was about 60, looked about 40. She really had her life together. She was an older version of you, pretty much. And what happened, she was talking about, like she said, "Jeff, I'm not a CEO, I'm a she-EO." I thought,
it's a great one.
I thought that was pretty cool as well. Because the women in the world, guys, they turn your house into a home. They have your children. They cook for you. They do your laundry for you. They give you an aspirin when you've got a headache, and they send you off to work and say, "Go get them, Tiger," right? And they don't get any credit for any of that, So
we've been known to think for you as well.
But they're improving it. They're starting to raise their voice a bit the last couple of years, which is good to see. And should be. And you've got to start waving the flag a bit more. Tell me. Let's have a look here. Look at your head. We cover what are your goals and aspirations for the future? Where are you going?
I would love to do my studies around professional coaching, and I've been looking at that somewhat semi-seriously for a few months now. But my current career really complements that and probably dovetails quite nicely into a professional coaching role. So within the next 10 years, I would love to see myself assisting other people with their career journeys, helping them tackle challenges, issues, looking at what their next steps are. It's a really rewarding experience for me. So that's probably my next step. And hopefully buying a house.
You've got a great journey ahead of you, my friend. You're only at base camp. You're at base camp. You still keep climbing.
Thank you. Feels like I've been climbing for a while.
That's the one. With our wonderful podcast, tell our listeners and people watching, what's the best way to reach out and find out more about your remarkable services?
So you can come and visit the Allara Learning website, so allaralearning.com.au. And we have all of our contact details on there. We have a LinkedIn page. We also have our sister company, which is Allara Global, who are our global online LMS team. So we've got lots of fun stuff that we can offer you, and we have a whole team of people across the world that are looking to help you in your learning experience.
I'm just looking up something here very quickly for me, but I'm having a look at something because you've confused me. Are you Rosie O'Connor or are you Rosie Wilson? You should have kept the O'Connor.
I am O'Connor. I'm newly O'Connor. I got married to an O'Connor in March, so I was Wilson.
Change it on your little thing on Zoom next time. Go back to O'Connor.
Oh, okay, I will.
And I was going to tell people, reach out to Rosie Wilson, right? But they won't find you. I'm sure your LinkedIn is probably still Rosie O'Connor, right?
It's all Rosie O'Connor.
As it should be. As it should be. Right, lovely. So there it is, guys. Rosie O'Connor. You can look for Rosie O'Connor. LinkedIn's probably one of the easiest ways, guys. It's a wonderful woman. She's got some fantastic experiences and great stories. And the worst you can do is reach out, have a cup of coffee, have a chat, and see if her company can align with something. There goes my tablet now. Align with some of the services that you're trying to provide. So, Rosie, before we wrap it up, we're about to do, tell us a fun fact about yourself that most people don't know. What else?
Fun fact is I've got a black German Shepherd called Goose. He's just turned 2. And I guess my party trick is, saying the alphabet backwards.
Fantastic. All right, Rosie, you've been an awesome guest. Thank you for being on the show today. And guys, if you want your 15 minutes of fame, just like Rosie, think about this. A TV commercial in your state is going to set you back about $30,000. And what happens? As soon as it comes on, people get up, they make a burger, they grab a drink, they go to the toilet, whatever. 10 radio spots will set you back $3,000 to $5,000. And what will happen? They're going to play them at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning when people are asleep. But come on, 15 minutes of fame, and we'll put you across all the social media channels, every channel you can possibly think of, and put you in front of hundreds of potential clients. So there's the offer, guys. Reach out. Everyone's got a story, just like Rosie. And myself, everyone's got a story, and we'd love to hear your story. Once again, Rosie, thanks for being on the show today. It's been awesome, my friend.
Thank you so much, Jeff.